What is up? I'm Vitakit, and I'm here today to read you some Reddit stories so that I don't have to read them alone. If you couldn't tell by my sweater I've been wearing for 3 days straight now, it is the Christmas season. In honor of that, today we're going to be reading Christmas stories. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Last year, my son, then 9, decided Elf on the Shelf was not real when he had a friend over. Touched it, picked it up, threw it on the floor, and later electrical taped it to a robot vacuum. My youngest was watching and laughed, and I thought, finally, nobody believes in this annoying elf anymore. So Pinecone the elf disappeared after that. This December, my youngest child asked if Elf on the Shelf was coming back, and I told her no, pretty sure her brother had killed him forever. And I don't even feel guilty because the holiday season is so much less stressful without it. To all parents, do not get sucked into getting an Elf on the Shelf. They will be the bane of your existence for years to come. I agree with this one though. I never understood the Elf on a Shelf thing. The idea of Santa is already more than enough for parents to have to do. Each and every year they pretend to be this magical man in the sky coming to deliver presents and then just keeping up the farce for like years and years. That was already something that parents were having to do. Then some motherfucker came up and they were like, add an elf onto that. Another one. I don't have any kids of my own, but I understand where this mom is coming from because I have seen so many posts where the kid just expects the elf to move every single morning. Okay, so they'll go to bed and the entire month of December, they'll wake up and they'll expect this elf to have been on a magical adventure every single night. And I just would not sign up to do something like that. Once my daughter figured out hers wasn't real, she asked if she could keep setting it up anyway. Every year now, she interacts with it as much or as little as she wants. That's a good idea. That's a good way to do it. I hid the Elf on the Shelf once and no one found him that morning, so I forgot he was even in there. I was preheating the oven to bake cookies. Oh no, I already know where this is going. Help me! I was preheating the oven to bake cookies when the aroma of burning plastic filled the room. Elfie the elf was only slightly melted. The next morning, my 6-year-old at the time found him and said, Elty had a rough night. He is not seen since, and no one asks for him, as it's implied that he has grievous injuries. My grandmother instilled this horrible habit in me where she puts all of her like pots and pans and stuff inside of the oven. And so every time you turn the oven on, you have to take all of this stuff out to bake. My fiance, every time that he goes to bake something, he always forgets that all that is in there. So my bad. And thanks, Grammy. I don't get why people feel like their elf has to be naughty. They are there to watch the kids' behavior and report it to Santa. I have a little elf and she sits high up on shelves and I move her around. She never makes messes and the kids still enjoy trying to find her. I love this response. Then how are you supposed to get attention on social media? Call it as it is. The reason that a lot of these parents even do over-the-top antics like that is to post it on social media. I've seen so many videos of elves doing things that are just completely inappropriate for kids. I've seen one where the mom set up the elf as a stripper or something. I once skunked a bottle of wine given to a bullying manager on my team. Many moons ago, I was working for a large tech company. It was a common practice for managers on the same team to exchange some sort of token holiday gift just before Christmas, something under $20. One of these managers was a very nasty woman who was quietly bullying some of her employees and one of the other managers on our team. We were trying to deal with her through the proper channels, but the holidays sprang up in the meantime. When the holidays came around, I bought a case of nice red wine that I enjoyed and prepped them all with gift bags, except one bottle. The bottle for the nasty manager. This is petty as hell, and I love it. Good for you. I took that bottle and spent about 2 weeks heating the bottle and chilling the bottle by wrapping it in a particularly warm heating pad and standing it on top of my old apartment's hot water heater for 1 or 2 hours, then sticking it in the freezer until the bottle was cold to the touch. My main goal was to ruin the wine, turn it into vinegar. Oh my God, this person hates this manager. This is such dedication to a horrible gift. The holidays came and I gave my fellow managers their wine gift and we all headed out of the office for a few days for a company-wide out of office. When we came back, everyone was talking about how wonderful the wine was. Except the nasty manager, who was surprised everyone loved it. She was going on about how nasty it was and how bad it smelled and how she couldn't even drink it. It was intended as a harmless prank, but when she was fired a few days later for bullying people, she exploded and mentioned my shitty wine in her tirade. That's how we handle bullies. We hand it to them professionally, and we put in as much effort is needed to be as petty as possible. Not by skunked, she meant that you farted in it. No, genuinely, when she said skunked, I thought she meant that she like drank the whole bottle and then just put it back and gifted her an empty bottle of wine. In which case, I was just gonna be like, okay, so you gifted the manager trash. Good thing the company realized how toxic she was. Petty managers are bad for everyone. Now we move to our petty revenge to see what other stories we can come up with. So you wanna snoop in your daughter's texts? I'm married to a wonderful woman. She's smart, funny, and very kind. Her mother is generally very nice and tends to have a great attitude and be very enjoyable. A bit of a prude, but generally enjoyable. However, can be a bit of a major snoop. If my wife leaves her phone sitting around, she will just pick it up and start going through it. No. That's a big no for me. That's crazy. I can't believe she does that. Your wife is old enough to be married and is a fully grown woman, and her mom is going through her phone. What does she think she's gonna find besides nudes of her own son-in-law? Ew. My wife has kind of laughed this off as a remnant of her mom being controlling when she was a kid. I'm so sorry to tell you, I think you need to go to therapy. I'm not a fan of this because my wife and I will sometimes text about things that simply don't involve her mother and I don't feel are her business at all. Over Christmas, I saw my wife set her phone down on the kitchen counter and I had a brilliant idea. Her mom was still in the kitchen and I sent my wife the most depraved text about all the things I was going to do to her when everyone left. I sent this text from the bathroom, and maybe it was my imagination, but I swear I could hear an audible gasp shortly after the phone went off. When I went out, her mother absolutely would not look me in the eye, then not so discreetly asked her daughter to come talk to her in the other room. When my wife came back into the living room, I thought she'd been crying. However, upon closer inspection, she was laughing. Her mother had questioned her about me abusing her and if I always talk down to her like that. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just take a pause. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt and say, you know, she's worried about her daughter, but like, don't snoop. That's not cool. My wife told her kindly that what we do is between us and us only. Probably the best gift this Christmas. How the fuck are you not gonna post the text you sent? It's killing us. I don't think I want to read that personally, but y'all do you. I was expecting a pic, but this was good too. Hey, that's what I said. Snooping just feels really nasty because it's personal, you know? It's almost like someone's diary to be going through their phone. That's why a lot of people put like passcodes on their phone. Guy kept cutting in line at the coffee shop, so I made his morning routine miserable. There's a coffee shop I go to every morning before work. Small place, usually has a line of 5 to 6 people. There's this one guy who would show up, see the line, and then pretend to just remember that he needed to ask the barista a question. He'd walk up to the counter, ask something stupid, like what the size medium is, and then conveniently just order while he was already up there. He did this at least 4 times that I witnessed. Nobody called him out because, you know, confrontation before coffee isn't worth it. This just reminds me of those cars that will urge over at the last minute in really bad traffic where there's a line of cars just going way back and somebody tries to merge in at the end. And the excuse is so often, well, I didn't know that it was going to end. They know that the lane is ending and they just want to cut everybody off. I'm not angry about it. No. So I started playing the same game. Whenever I'd see him walk in and start heading toward the counter with his I have a question routine, I'd quickly step out of line and beat him to it. Then I'd ask the most annoying, time-consuming questions possible. What's the difference between a latte and a cappuccino again? Do you have oat milk? What about almond? Soy? Which one froths better? And then I'd say, oh, actually, let me get back in line and think about it, and just go back to my spot. He'd be stuck standing there looking like an idiot. After about a week of this, he just started walking to the back of the line like a normal person. Problem solved. Haven't seen a try to cut since. I wish I had an air horn because I would definitely be blaring it right now. A tiny amount of confrontation usually is enough. Once I was standing in line at a tourist attraction in Berlin. The line was made up of people clearly not from here, so there were a lot of cultural differences there. A couple cut in and started taking pictures, so I just started booing loudly. Apparently the people in line were super tired of cheats because the shy-looking girls in front of us started booing until the couple left. Petty works, but booing is forever. Also, it's fun.
This is Editing Brittany here. I totally forgot to record the outro, but that's all of the Christmas chaos that I have for you today. Thanks for sticking around and hanging out with me. I'll see you again soon. Bye!